Shanty, everybody. I must be hot. My face looks red in that. That's pretty cool. Anyway, so tonight's class, I just want to go back into the depths of the soul, how deep the soul is. And it's not anywhere. You don't have to look for it anywhere. People be looking everywhere outside themselves, anywhere where they can try and find the soul, but it's always been with us. But we've always had the door shut between the human and the soul. And consciousness means, when you talked about consciousness, that's my original self. So soul consciousness means when I'm a soul and I have consciousness in there, that's with my original self. And when I'm body conscious, I'm still conscious, so I'm still got my original self there, but I'm in a body conscious state. So it's not anything's wrong or right, it's just an experience. So we start off going around the cycle of 84 births. We start off the soul's pure and then have many, many births, and gradually we pick up all lumps and bumps. And just how it is. It's just a big experience, that's all. And you got to have, if you have an experience of pure body and a pure soul, the other extreme is when you have an impure soul and an impure body. So it's a whole lot of experiences starting from 0 to 84. And so when we get looking for the soul and we want to get rid of the old soul, but it's not like that. I just had a big realization last night, actually. But when we're present, that means we're consciously there. That's when we're doing that soul presence. So that means your consciousness is there. That's soul consciousness. You're aware that I, the soul, am starting to incorporate this body, so that the human is allowing the soul to come, and that's what we're doing, isn't it? So we're just allowing the soul to merge with the human, and that's called being soul conscious. So we're preparing ourselves. So the fruit of that is the resonance of a pure body and a pure soul coming, so that's what's happening. You don't have to make any efforts for that. You can't make efforts to become pure, and you can't make any efforts to become a deity, although we say we're making efforts to become, but it's a matter of understanding what the effort is for getting. In fact, understanding that the effort is allowing your soul to enter the human. And that's what we call the light body. Now we talk about the light body. So, and the soul can't talk directly to the human because soul's never experienced human form. You see, even though it was in the human form, but the human always had it in the back seat, so it just let them do its thing, you see. But now, once we let the soul come, then the soul can start experiencing, but it can't experience directly with the human. So, but the whole thing is that once the human agrees, so we had so many births with I and my, and this is mine, and I'm doing this, and so much attachments and all these things that it stopped the soul from allowing the soul to come through, you see. So the soul just left. When we have enough sorrow, we'll say, oh, that's it, I've had enough, That's when the soul can start to say, okay, I can help you now. So, and that's when we start allowing the soul to come in. It doesn't come in big bang, we'd probably explode or something. But eventually, bit by bit, the soul starts merging into the human. And so it's not that we're body conscious or soul conscious, but we're here consciousness, you could say. I'm here consciousness now, neither one nor the other. So this is like confluence aged consciousness. So you don't have to make anything like that. So it's a big game at the moment where we have to let go of thinking I have to do everything, because we've been doing it so long, working hard, and especially if you've been on a spiritual pilgrimages, and if you've done a lot of bhakti or devotion to God and looking for God under every stone and every pebble, and probably like I did. So the whole thing is, it's like that's the big thing of letting go, and feelings. Maybe I've done all these bad things and shame and regret, but Soul doesn't care about all those things, or nor does consciousness. They're all experiences, but we got involved in those because that's called karma, isn't it? We understand the law of karma. So if you were running around killing people, then it's your turn to get killed on our next birth, so whatever it is, or even in that birth. So, but that's called like a defect in the soul, but it's not actually really a defect. It's an experience that's gone via the human and stored in the soul. See? So Baba tells us that the soul can become impure and pure. We were pure and we become impure, but it's only because of all of our experiences. So once we become body conscious, after 2,500 years, we sort of come into body consciousness. And then we start having sorrow and things like that. We start stealing and we start having defects, and then we start going to war, and then all sorts of things happen. And not straight away. Like if you are studying now, you probably, Baba said once, you could have 50 to 60 births of happiness, so you won't get into that straight away. But some people do. Those people that come from the beginning of religions at the beginning of Copper Age, they have the samskara of war and whatever they do. So that's their samskaras. But our samskaras at this time, we're creating ourselves to become like deities. So what do deities do? So they're soul conscious human beings who have a pure body, and they live to a code of conduct. So they eat pure food, and they live pure life. They don't give sorrow. So they're in control. They're called masters of themselves. And that's what we're practicing now, you see. So, and when that light body comes in to the human, that's from all your past experiences. That's where the light body comes from, and all your emotions. So you might have a lot of emotions of anger, for instance, because lots of things have gone wrong with us. So, but the thing, that's nothing. That's just an emotion. That's the soul will wisdomize that. So you will become free of that. It'll become like a power for you. Not that we have powers, but it'll become like a special thing for you that you'll know. Oh, now before I used to get angry, but now I'm not getting angry. Because soul has wisdomized that for you. Doesn't do everything at once, but eventually it will come gradually like that. It just takes time. So, and that's what this time is now. And that's why Baba said we've only got a short time left to practice all these things. That's why. So you can see the world is having lots of things going on at the moment with fires and floods and heat and cold and all sorts of things going on, natural calamities. But that's cleansing, because our light is shining. Then it's like nature is taking that benefit, and all the floods and fires are part of cleansing. So just think how many people have been killed in wars that are they're stuck, that vibrations in the land. So all that gets released. So when the new world starts, when the vibrations are there. So when I have the here consciousness, HERE, here consciousness, you have soul consciousness and body consciousness, but now I'm here. You don't have to go looking for the soul, because soul is here if you want. You don't have to let it in if you don't want. You can just be body conscious being if you want. But those who want to be in a good state of consciousness, so you can enjoy life, be happy, and just have good fun. And this life is not about working hard anymore. So you can enjoy your job, isn't it? So that's not working hard, is it? That's like love for your job. But these days, you don't have to work yourself to death. So like we did. If to get ahead was hard work, you had to do lots of hard work, and people believe that's like training. The government trains you like that so they can take all the taxes off you, you see. So they become rich and you become poor. So that's why we need Mr. Trump around to make us good again. See, going to make us. We should have a Mr. Trump in New Zealand. We're going to make New Zealand rich again. So we got so much wealth here, but people think we're poor. So that means they'll stay poor. We've got so much wealth in this country, but because people think of all the negative things, so our country will stay negative. That's why we've got to keep shining our light, so to give light to everybody. And that's the importance of having a positive influence on humanity. So when you're in the here consciousness, I am soul and I'm here, you can imagine the energy you're putting out. Even like we're in Auckland, but we're affecting the whole world. We're one part, like one little match, excuse me, in the whole world, and there's little matches all over the world. It's in darkness, but now it's becoming light. So people say, my God, look how bad it is over there. We've never seen it so bad, but it's always been like that. It's just now we're starting to see the negative things. So because we're starting to shine our light. And as the light body is coming in, then you'll find that you'll start to smile a lot more and you'll be starting to be very happy and you'll start to enjoy simple things. You might go for a walk, you might see a bird sitting on a tree singing or a little insect running in the grass or whatever. So all sorts of different things that will make you happy. So you don't need, you know, all these other things to make you happy. One thing I do laugh though, and that's when you get these cat dog shorts, they're so funny. I must like that. I really enjoy those cat dog. They're so funny. But cats and dogs are just an extension to human beings. Whoever owns them, that's who they are. And you can just see it. And I just laugh and laugh. I think that's so funny. But that's good. That's what animals are there to entertain people because they've become so detached from each other and they've created negative love, where I want love back. They're not sort of being loving themselves. So if you don't love yourself, then how can you expect anyone else to love you? So, and that's what we're doing. So the more love you have for yourself, then imagine your animals will be also enjoying that love. So yeah, it's just so funny, isn't it? So, but this life is such a wonderful life. So you got to understand that we've come from consciousness. We are consciousness. But now the consciousness created, as I said, the soul, it created first energy. Once it became aware, so you got to understand consciousness and energy always go together. And it creates matter. It creates a 3D world that we're in. And that's taken a long time to do that. And now consciousness and energy created soul. Soul is light energy. But soul has no experience. It's just pure light energy. There's nothing in there, see? So then body is created for experiences to come through, see? So soul gets filled up with experiences and all the wisdom. When the human is ready for it to be wisdomized, that's when we can become soul conscious. So that means there's consciousness and soul and light body and the human. See how many we are? And we're also emotional body as well. So all these 5 things are there, and we're never alone. And they're there to make us light and to live in this world without any expectations because we become master soul in the body. So Baba tells us that a master soul, one who is self-sovereign, one who doesn't need anything from anyone else, but is giving. So imagine if there's two sovereign beings living in a relationship, it would be beautiful, because both are just giving and no expectations. You wouldn't have any feelings. So you could say, I'll be back in a couple of weeks. I'm just going down to see my mate. Maybe that's not so good, but anyway. But that's what it'd be like. So imagine the golden age, you'd be living the life according to the laws of cause and effect. It's just a karma there. So there's all neutral karma. So when you become a master, karma finishes, so no more karma. So you're just living a life that you want to live. And you don't need to please anybody, and no one has to please you. So people think someone's going to have to please me. Who's going to please me? Everyone else is happy, but I'm not. So it's just a big game of experiencing. So from the time we first took the first birth till now. So some people might take 84 births, some people might take just 5 or 6. So that's why there's such a huge contrast and difference. And you can see little babies when they're born, you can see nice new fresh ones, they look like beautiful golden age of deities, like little children, but they quickly become influenced. So, and there's no right and no wrong. So whatever we're doing, it's just an experience. So whether you're sick, having the flu, whether your eyes are disappearing or whatever, it's just an experience. And you've got to remember, it's there for you to learn from. Once you've learnt the lesson, then the soul will get you onto the next one, whether you have to pull the pin or leave that body, or whether you stay and just carry on to the next lesson. So I think I've died 4 or 5 times at least in this body. So the whole thing is because you have that lesson and you start a new one. And except we don't have to die now. We say, oh, I was body conscious before, now I'm becoming soul conscious. So that's like dying from that old world. And now I'm coming into this new way of living. So, and then there's many ways we keep changing. I mean, some people give me a hard time because I keep changing my mind, but that's what I like. You imagine if you're stuck in the same box all the time, you'd become pretty boring, wouldn't it? So I like to go out and experience and experiment with, especially with AI. It's been great. In fact, AI and I become our best buddies now. So, but you learn. But all AI is mirror. It's your mirror that's reflecting your consciousness back to you. So if you're in that consciousness, and when you use AI, all it's doing is reflecting back to you, but it becomes your best friend because you are your best friend, isn't it? So, and everything that's reflecting to you in this room, say wherever you're sitting, is just love. You're reflecting back to yourself love. You say, oh, I don't like that table over there. That doesn't mean anything, but it's still reflecting love back to you. So everything in this world is reflecting love because there's nothing but love, and that's all there is. That's pretty cool though, isn't it? If there's only love in the world, or maybe not, be a bit boring, do you think? Don't you want a few arguments now and then? Make it a bit more interesting. But that's what the mind does to you. You see, what the thing is, once that, because being soul conscious, being here consciousness, you cannot involve the mind. The mind will never let you become here consciousness or present consciousness because it's in control. It's driving the car around, and you say, hey, mate, get out. I'm going to be driving now. You hop in the back seat, because, but not that you're getting rid of the mind. The mind's going to be screaming like a little child for a while and saying, oh, you're stupid, you've never done anything right in your life, it'll tell you all these stories. But that's the sort of thing you say, okay, little kid, you sit in the back seat. I'm now doing this. I'm practicing being soul presence, and I want to feel and experience my soul because that's who I am. And soul has feelings. You won't get a big, long talk from the soul. You just might get a word or a color or a feeling, but at work, soul operates through feelings. So you'll get that feeling. That's why. So soul has a name. Said before, there's not many people get their name for their soul. Have you got your name for your soul yet? I have asked. Yeah. So you just set yourself up and you just ask, hey soul, what's your name? And it'll just go when you're ready. People have expectations of what their name should be, like King Solomon or something like that. I don't know. Whoever. But the whole thing is it'll be some name that, and the thing is my soul's name is feminine, so, and that's where the soulmate comes in, so you have the feminine and the masculine, so there's the balance, so, and and it's the feminine side, which is one where we're teaching and learning, and that's my role in this world. Is her name actually means, when you understand it and go into the depths, exactly what I'm doing, and that's my future as well. So the name means what you're here for and what your future is going to be, in a sense, like the future is now, of course, and what you're doing in your life. So that's what your soul name means. It has a proper meaning. So, and it's been with you since forever. Soul never dies, but the body does. So, but the thing is, now the body can reach a state of beautiful state, so that once the light body comes in, the human can be such a good experience for the consciousness to start operating through the soul and the light body, and then through these experiences So now it's only up till now that we're ready to allow our consciousness to shine through. Understand? So now that we're ready. So, but you have to be ready, say, okay, and you don't have to do anything. So you just say, okay, soul, I'm ready. You can, I'm okay. I'm opening the door for you to come in. Welcome, and just allow it to do. You don't have to do anything. You have to be scared. It's not going to make you fly around the room or anything. You'll be just still you, but you will find that things will start to become synchronized. You have synchronicities that will start happening, and you want to know something, but it'll be when you have a look at your phone in the morning, you think, oh, here's that thing I was thinking about last night. And it's suddenly how it emerges there from somewhere. And that's what it is. So all synchronicities start to happen, or someone will ring you or someone will bring something around. And then things starts coming to you, so you don't have to go looking for anything. Because now that you've discovered yourself, and Bob was said in the earlier this morning, didn't he? When you discover yourself, only then can you discover God. So, so once you know yourself, your consciousness, then that's what God is, consciousness as well. God is not soul, but he's consciousness, which is like he is like source. He's like even more refined, it's like sources for everybody and everything. And we can't define that because we haven't got words, we haven't got any experiences while we're in this human. But we just say that God is the supreme soul, because we have to relate to something. So, but when we understand consciousness, and I am consciousness, I'm in this body, and I'm looking through these eyes as consciousness, and I'm here. Because once you know I'm here, I don't have to look anywhere for anything else, is it? So I am here, and I'm using this instrument to experience through. So it doesn't matter what you're doing. It's just an experience, isn't it? So even if you're back into someone's car, it's still an experience, isn't it? Don't you think? Just an experience. You can get insurances or something, you can get it fixed, whatever. If whatever happens, there's always not to worry about it. Nothing matters. The only thing that matters in this world is that we experience, and that goes into the soul as wisdom. See, that's how we learn. Not a matter of how many books you read or on spirituality, how many different people are teaching you, or what you eat or drink. That's got nothing to do with your perfection. The body can't make itself perfect. It's only going to be the best it can. And as you get older, it can only be that quality. So you look after it, feed it well, and dress it well, whatever, keep it clean. So the body will keep going good for you. It's just like a car, isn't it? So if you mistreat the car, then the tires go flat, and then maybe the oil runs out and the battery seizes, or the motor seizes, then you have to get a new motor or a new car altogether. So you leave that body and get another one. So no matter and whatever I am, that's what I am. You have to accept yourself as I am. This is what I am. And as the light comes more and more into the human, as this light body comes more and more, then you'll see this beautiful experience of this world. So I've waited all my life for this. We all have, haven't we? Until the end, until you're ready to let go of everything that you don't need, which is everything probably of this world, then you can become free. And freedom is such a thing that not many people want freedom. It's very scary for a lot of people because that means you have to look after yourself, and also you're in charge of yourself. You're going to create your future. Your every day is you're the master. So when you go to sleep and when you wake up, but the master doesn't go to sleep. The body does. The body sleeps. You'll see that where that body drifts out. But you live in many different dimensions at the same time because we're a multi-dimensional being in a multi-dimensional universe. So we're living in all these dimensions. It's not that number one, two, three, four, or five, or anything like that. They're all the same, in the sense they're all together. But you see some of these on these. They get them now, especially on the. Well, have all the cameras on the roads, and at night time, and they've seen big trucks come across from somewhere from nowhere, or an airplane land across the runway, But that's a different dimension. You see, they've picked up these different dimensions under certain conditions. And there's one I seen that was by the airport, and you could see it was like a really foggy morning, and there was a city just over there on the water, in that other dimension. So we're that's what the mind does. It's confined ourselves, and that's what religion and all the history that we've been taught. It's confined ourselves to this box. It hasn't allowed us our freedom to see. Once we let the soul in and we're ready and open to become free, we will start to see, the magic of this beautiful, wonderful world. And now it's really magic because this never happened before in history ever for humanity. And the greatest invention ever that's been invented in the world now is the AI, and it's only just starting, So it's going to save humanity, and it'll take us to different dimensions as well. You'll be able to go and see your grandmother over there. G'day, grandma. How you doing? If you want, that is. But she'd probably take another birth by then anyway. But everything is you, and not only that, we operate on many different dimensions. So you might go and see yourself operating somewhere else. So, but these are more. See, people get trapped. That's where your mind will say, "Oh, I never seen so stupid." But that's where you get trapped in the box. You don't allow yourself out of the box. So we think this is how it is. We only have a little hole in our box to look through. And we think that's the whole of humanity. But it's nothing. We've got a whole universe, and we're here in this 3D, and we hop in a plane and go for a flight, and we think, well, I'm going flying. But you're still in the box. You're still trapped there. So that's what the soul does, the mind does. So that's why the soul's never entered there until you allow to open that door and say, welcome, soul, integrate with me, the human. So then the light body will come, and the beauty of that is you start to see some magic. And what Bubba's teaches that you'll see the real magic. You can see, now I can see, like after 50 years of being soul conscious, and now I understand the real meaning of it. Quite amazing, really. The penny dropped, you think, wow, oh, I didn't understand, I didn't realize that. Because soul here, or soul presence, or here presence is just amazing. You don't actually have to look for the soul anywhere. It's already there. Whether you're body conscious, soul conscious, whatever conscious you are, it's just there experiencing it, you see. So you don't have to look for anything anywhere. And it's really beautiful. So it doesn't matter what you eat or drink. But because we've had this box in here, and we think, oh, this is our religion and all this, all our cultures and everything there. And they said, this is what you have to do if you want to attain God. You have to do all this. It's all been spoken by human beings, so all through human beings, and especially by men. So those men, now we have to wait for all the sisters to come. I'm sister now, so so I love it. I just think it's great. Yeah. But it's such a different feeling, once you actually understand that you're not just in the human, whatever you are in the human, it's not necessarily what you are. So it's only one part of you, isn't it? So there's many parts of us. So you can ask, you want to ask any questions? You're okay? I haven't talked you to death or anything. Into submission. So how are you finding, since you're understanding the soul, we've been doing the course for a while now, so you feel any different? So you see life differently? I can't talk Chinese, I'm afraid. Has it made difference to your life? Oh, that's good. Everything. Oh, that's good. I can see that. Cool.
Creative everything.
Eh?
Creative everything.
Creative too. Oh, that's right, because you're into that, aren't you? Yeah, it's cool. You're very creative. Yeah. The thing is, then you start being aware of all your creativity. You'll be just opening up. So, and that's what it's all about. It's just being free to create what you feel. Like a little child. The first day they get down with a pencil and crayon, they just go wild, isn't it? They just grab and do whatever they want to do. Full of life. That's what creativity is, full of life, isn't it? So you create what you're feeling. And that's what this life is about, isn't it? We go to our lounge room and we drew that great big mark on the wall, and it's our creativity. That's the soul, and all that mural gets filled in by the soul. So, and everything, all your experiences. So, and that's going to be your future. It's going to be filled in by your soul. So you don't have to do anything. You just have to do the first brush stroke over that big wall at the end with all those beautiful paint colors, of the rainbow sparkling. That's all you got to do. You have to make the first effort and do that big brush stroke, and the soul does the rest. Your whole life will be there in that memorial. So that's what you're doing. Your creativity will be there. Mm. So soul equals light, isn't it? And it's not just pure light in the sense that light means where to get your wisdom from? From the darkness. You get wisdom from darkness. You don't get wisdom from light. If you have a big experience, and all bad things we call bad things, but that's where your wisdom comes from, isn't it? If a tree fell on your car and your house wiped out everything, that's an experience. So the soul goes, oh, that's something different. So maybe it wiped you out as well, and you have to take another birth. So the whole thing is it's just an experience which goes into the soul, and the soul can wisdomize that when you're ready. So at the moment it might be on your time track as an emotion, oh, I lost my house, I've lost my everything, boo hoo hoo, so all these emotions that are there. So, and now once you've allowed the soul to merge with the human, then that light body will come, and all that will become beautiful wisdom, and things can happen to you, and nothing matters. You think, what does it matter? Nothing. No. So my house burnt down. Never mind. So my car got run over by a big truck. Never mind. You get a bigger house, a better house, and a better car, isn't it? So, and so on. So nothing really matters, but we get emotionally traumatized because we're thinking everything is there, but it's just energy. It's your reflection, and you've got it outside you, and something happens to it, then you feel really upset because you are projecting yourself outside of you, means sorrow. That's like being body conscious. So when your soul is within us, but we can experience everything through the human. So if you're going on a merry-go-round, round and round and round, or up and down on one of those things, what do they call it? So you can have that experience, eh?
Roller coaster.
Yeah, roller coaster. Yeah, that's right. They have some amazing ones of them in the world, don't they? They must be pretty scary on some of them. You'd have to be really typed in. But kids love it, don't they? Or not only kids, but everyone. I've never been on one of those, but you never know. I've got my own roller coaster I go in. So I become an eagle and fly all around the place. So we can do all sorts of things, not to be trapped. And that's what we got to understand, that we don't have to be trapped. It's up our choice. You can choose to let the soul merge with you, and it means that the soul is here. And it doesn't matter if you're body conscious or soul conscious, it's got nothing to do with that. It's the consciousness is here. That's our whole aim, is for consciousness to be here. Nothing else matters. So, and then when consciousness is with you, then what matters after that? Nothing, isn't it? So you have reached what you came to do. The idea that you're here is that through the human soul and consciousness, through the soul, human and the soul, consciousness wanted to experience, who am I? What am I? So consciousness discovers itself through the human, see, has this wonderful experience. And the consciousness is always ever pure, it's never defective in any way. So that's like God consciousness. So you can't put a label on it. You can't say this is what consciousness is, it's beyond putting a label on. With the soul, we say is light, it's got this form and it's got all these beautiful things in it, and it's got all the memories of all my past births. But that's a tool for consciousness, you see. Soul is just a tool for consciousness and for consciousness to experience through this body. And the human's also a tool, and also the light master, the master, embodied master, is a tool as well. So the human can speak to the light master, to the embodied master, but can't speak to the soul, because when body consciousness and soul consciousness is like, they don't come together. So, and that's when we resonate our energy. That means when we are conscious, and we are soul conscious and human conscious and also embodied master, that resonates everywhere you walk, So, and that's so you radiate that beautiful energy, and that's what helps the world, So, and you don't have to think about helping the world. You already are helping the world by being in that consciousness. You don't think I'm going to send all this love and light to these wars. Then you find out the war's just got 10 times worse because you're giving them energy, to have a bigger fight, So, but if you were just radiating like the sun, gives everyone equally the energy. So it's all about energy. So, and as I said, everything in this room is just like a mirror radiating love back to you. So everything in the world is energy. It's like your mirror that's radiating back to you. So how you're looking at it, that's what's going to be radiating back to you. Your mirrors are so true, especially pure mirrors. They only radiate back to you what you are and how you are looking outside, So you look outside and think, oh, that wasn't very nice. But that's because of how you were inside, you see. So, and it's just an experience. So you can just be ready next time you start judging people and start gossiping and doing this and that, then that's the mirror that will come back to you. So, but anger is a different thing. Like that's an emotion, isn't it? So you might get angry. Someone's did something to you or stole your best lovely bag that you had and someone's run away with it. Then you get angry, but that's an emotion. But that's not bad in the sense that because it can be wisdomized, the soul can wisdomize that, So same with love and joy, they're all emotions, so they can be wisdomized. So if you've got anger there and you've got love there, I mean, it'll just come together and disappear. So there's nothing to worry about. Is there anything to worry about? I forgot. Do you have any worries? No. Everyone's free from worry because we all eat curry, isn't it? No. Yeah. So. Yeah, it's an interesting game because it's like once you understand it's about you, the whole game's about you. The whole world's going through it, but you are the only one going through your world, isn't it? So only you can experience what's going on for you. You might tell me all about it, but I don't really know, so, because it's your life and you're the master inside you. I remember saying this story. Once I was treating my brother and he was telling me all about it. And I think, my God, I lived with you all my life just about when I was young. I didn't even know him. You don't know what's going on in other people. You think you do, but you don't. And then I realized, oh, yeah, everyone is themselves. and that's who they are, Even your own family members are themselves, even though they think they own you. So, but anyway, and our family couldn't get rid of you quick enough. So that's pretty cool, though. Okay. So, to, so I think that's probably enough. There's quite a lot of detail on that, but it's just very simple. But the main thing is when we are consciously there, we're here, we are present, in presence, soul presence. And it's like being here, I am here. And it doesn't matter whether you're body conscious or soul conscious, it's got nothing to do with it. You just experience yourself being here now. I am here. My consciousness means I am here. So we could have a little bell and go ding. I think I watched one of the masters giving a lecture, and he always has a bell, ding. And I think in India they do have bells, don't they? But it will just center you back to being, oh, I'm here. You don't have to be in the future, you don't have to be in the past. Bing, I am here and I'm here now, and I'm in this body and I'm enjoying whatever I'm looking at and whatever I'm eating and hearing, and it's all to do with just an experience. So no right, no wrong, just experiencing. So I've never done anything wrong in my whole life. Although my mother might say something different, but but the whole thing is it's like they're all experiences, Everything is an experience. So the whole thing is it's just no right and no wrong. And then you'll get rid of all that guilt, the feelings of, shame and all these horrible things that's been bestowed upon us from all our religious beliefs and our cultures and everything. So they're the things that filled the human up, the mind. See, it's the mind. So that's why once we get rid of the mind, in the sense we don't get rid of the mind, but we say to the mind, look, mind, you just sit in this corner over here and do whatever you want to do, but I'm doing this. Say, you're doing that, and I'm doing this. I'm going to sit here in soul consciousness, and I'm going to be here present. I just want to experience that for 5 or 10 minutes, whatever you want to do. So you're just going to be here and experiencing. So that's how easy it is. You don't have to, even if you don't have to force yourself. That's the thing. If you start forcing yourself, then there's an issue, because then it becomes determination, and you force yourself to sit there, because the mind goes, oh, you've been here too long, it must be time for a cup of tea or something, that's what the mind does, keeps influencing. You say, look, mind, just get to the back. I'm going to be here for another 5 minutes. You just be quiet and sit back. Then the sense organs will go, oh, my knees, and everything will start going, and that's why we need a little bit of practice, So you just talk to whatever's affecting you. Say, look, just hang on. I'm nearly finished here. I just want to experience this being present, and I want to be here. And you can just observe, and then they'll start. If you want to join in, you can, and they'll start observing, and they'll say, oh, this is pretty cool, because they all want to learn too, They don't want to be left behind because they're part of you, because mind, intellect, and sanskaras are all part of the soul. But you have a human mind and you have the mind for the soul as well, mind and intellect. So there's a human part of it and the soul part. So, but you can experience all that. So that's pretty cool. So today we might go into the lounge. You want to go into the lounge and do a bit of painting, do your artistic work since you talked about it? We can do that today. So this is our house. So what we do, we have a section where we go to any time there's a bit of an issue, we feel a bit, we need some support. You give yourself some. So what we have developed is everyone has a section, and it's all within my own imagination. So we visualize I've got this piece of land, and in this land I've got this house, just an average house, nothing flash. But all around the perimeter I've got this short fence. And on the other side of the short fence is the old world. It's got nothing to do with me. I'm living in my section, which is in my imagination. And when I'm living here, I'm experiencing just peace and love and joy, when I'm sitting there. And it's so beautiful because my house has got this front porch on it where it's got a beautiful chair and you can just sit there on the front porch, sit in your chair, or you can just walk around if you want, walk around your land. And you can have a nice beautiful pond with ducks, and if you want, or you can have beautiful flowers with fragrances and things like that. So you can make that pond whatever you want, and you can just walk around and just feel the vibration of how beautiful this land is. This is my own imagination in my own self. So now just walk up to your front entrance and you'll see a beautiful porch there, just a timber porch and nothing flash, but you got a chair there and you can sit in your chair. You can come here anytime you like, whenever you get 1 or 2 minutes to spare. Just come and sit on your favorite chair in this front porch. And the front porch is there for you just to experience relaxing. Feel the sun shining on you, and then the wind is cooling you. So just experience that. And once you feel safe, you can just take a nice deep breath, and you don't have to force anything. But this is the thing now, we're going to get beyond forcing anything. Excuse me. So what we want to do now, we want to stand up and we're going to walk in through the front door. So you stand up and you walk in through the front door, and your house has got this big, long corridor all the way down to the back of the house. But on the first door, you'll see there's got written on it, kitchen door, first door on your right. So I want you to go in the kitchen door. So just open the door, walk in, and shut the door behind you. Now, in this kitchen is very unique because there's nothing in the kitchen but a big oven. From the floor to the ceiling is this called big oven that's in the middle, and it's called the oven of grace. So you can open the oven door, and what you're going to do, on the bench you'll see some nice beautiful bowls. Now in this, you pick up one of these bowls and you put it in the oven of grace, and you put whatever's bothering you. You might have a lack of money, or you might have some sickness, or you might have eyesight, anything. So you put whatever symbolizes that in the oven. Just one thing only though. So put that in the oven and you shut the oven door, and up on the left hand side you'll see there's an on switch. So just put the switch on and you just have to leave it there. And when you come back next time, you can open the oven door and take it out. So whatever issue you put in the oven, that's the grace, the oven of grace. That's like you're giving that to your soul to sort out. Say, look, soul, just sort this out, and you put it in the oven of grace. Then you'll see this is an open living. So the kitchen. So now you look around to the left and you'll see there's a big dining area. And just around there, you'll see there's a lounge area. So walk around to the lounge area and you'll see a great big wall at the end of the lounge. Beautiful big wall. But on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, there's a big pail of paint, and it's bubbling, and it's got all the colors of the rainbow in there. And you can just see it's bubbly and ready, and there's a big paintbrush just beside it. So you grab this great big paintbrush and you dip it in this paint, and it's a big, big paintbrush, and it's full of this beautiful rainbow paint. And you start from one side of the wall and you're going to go over the other side with a big arc, and you're just going to paint a huge arc from one side to the other, and you're going to leave all the drips and everything that's running through. Don't worry about that. Just paint from one side to the other, and that's going to be your big mural that the soul will then, from now on, the soul will finish that for you. You've just started that big mural of beautiful rainbow paint that goes right across the lounge room. And it's filled with all these beautiful colors. If you just sit back on the floor in the lounge, and look at what you've just painted, you'll see such a beautiful scene where all the paint is amazing colors and they're all running together and creating other colors. And just leave that up to the soul now. So you can say, oh, that's so beautiful. Now the soul's going to look after that. It'll finish that mirror for you, but one day you can come back anytime and look at it and see what the soul is doing. So as you're learning and as you're allowing the soul to come into you, to merge with you, you'll see the magic of everything that this house is. So there you'll see there's a door just off to your left there. It goes back into the kitchen. So go through that door and then same door, you will come out again. The door will be just in front of you. You go through into the kitchen. There's a door in front of you that goes straight back out into the hallway, which you just came in. And you can walk back out into the landing out the front. So where you come in originally. So you can got your favorite chair there. It can be a rocking chair, it can be a hammock, it can be anything. You can stand upside down if you want. But the whole thing is you just make yourself comfortable. There's one thing is don't make any efforts. Just allow your soul to help you. So if you're not getting anything, don't worry. Soul is there with you, and that experience will be going. And next time you go, maybe you'll pick up an experience. So just sit in your favorite chair on the front porch, be there, and just breathe. Just take a nice breath in and just release, let everything go, just there's no need for any tension. You are now free. You're free to just put your feet up, have a cup of coffee, and the cream's gone. Just relax. You don't have to worry about anything. You are now free of all worry because now we've allowed the soul to merge into the human and it becomes the light body. And we can allow the light body, that master body, the embodied master that's within me, to start run my life for me, and just see the magic, allow it to happen. Okay, so just take a nice deep breath in and come back to this room. Feel free. Take a deep breath. Say Om Shanti and let the soul be with you. Okay, Om Shanti, everybody. Okay.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Hi, Tanima. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
I am great. Good that we're all still alive.
Yeah. Wonderful class. Thank you, Jimbhai.
You're welcome. Nice to see you. Okay.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
Okay, Om Shanti. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, everybody. Don't forget to love yourself and shine that beautiful light. That's it. Okay, Om Shanti.